It's a decades-long elf on the shelf.
That's a long time.
It's actual stripper panties.
By elf on the shelf, I mean golden stripper panties on a wall, okay? We are sitting in the studio where grown women come to rock. Is that correct?
That's correct. I love how you said that.
This is Girl Guitar headquarters. Why did you start Girl Guitar?
It was an accident, believe it or not.
Many good things are.
I know. I love the story though. The holiday season of 2006, I had just moved back to Austin from New York. I was broke out of my mind. My cell phone had got cut off. I was having all kinds of trouble finding work. It was just kind of a rough time for me. I threw together a MySpace page, which I, with no thought whatsoever, called Girl Guitar. Managed to wrangle enough women who wanted to learn to put together a little 6-week class so that I could get my cell phone turned back on. That was all I was thinking about at the time. That first week, somebody showed up with a bottle of wine and we were like, oh, why not? That's perfect. So wine and guitar, and it just went from there. We had so much fun that, of course, after the 6 weeks, we had to do it again. And their friends wanted to join, so we had to have 2 different classes, and then we added songwriting, and then we just went from there. And that's been, well, gosh, it's been 13 years. Yeah.
Look at that. So what do these classes look like?
The kind of meat and potatoes of it originally was the acoustic and songwriting stuff, where we circle up here in the studio, we still share the wine, and we work on picking up a guitar for the first time ever, all the way into songwriting. We also have the rock camp side of what we do, which is where the women join a full-on rock band. The classes look quite a bit different. They're a lot louder, and it's a big rehearsal, and we get these songs together, and then they play a big showcase.
So back in 2007, yes, you had to pay a cell phone bill, but why guitar? Where did guitar come into your life?
I had been playing guitar since high school, although it was not nearly my first instrument. I had gone to college on piano and violin scholarships, but I'd become disenchanted with the classical world, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to make music work for me, and I'd picked up guitar somewhere along the way. It just seemed like the more obvious instrument to do in a group setting, and it would have some mass appeal. You don't see a lot of like giant group fiddle lessons for a reason.
I've always wanted to learn guitar and drums, among other things, and you never quite feel like there's this safe space where you just could go play for fun, and that's what you've created here.
Yeah, that's a really important part of the process, because you don't see what happens for people before they get on stage, but it involves a lot of rough journey. You know, it's tough. The learning part's slow and hard, and it's really cool if you can find a safe, friendly, fun place to do it where everyone else is in the same boat.
Here's the sitch. She said get on stage. I just recently learned this. I thought you just came here to learn guitar. You make your students then go perform at a real life Austin bar.
Absolutely. I think that it works well for a lot of adults to have sort of an end in sight, to have a goal to work towards. Saying, hey, you know, welcome to playing guitar. Here's how to tune the thing. And by the way, you're on stage in 6 weeks. It has a way of kind of cracking the whip and getting people to practice and work hard. And our showcases aren't about being perfect and showing off. It's just a big celebration of what they've done. They get to play for their family and friends and for the rest of us, and it's a freaking blast, and that's what it's all about.
And that sounds like what the classes are too. They're a blast from right when you walk in the door.
When you show up, you got to bring your guitar, of course, and a handful of accessories and whatnot, and then the very important 2 bottles of wine that we put aside and share throughout the whole session so that no one ever has to go sober.
Yeah, your community bar. And then in 6 weeks, what is it that you're learning?
The biggest success stories come out of the beginner classes a lot of times, because these women literally have never picked up a guitar. So we're starting at the very beginning. And then to see them in 6 weeks on stage with a classmate playing a full song and singing, and you know, that's an amazing deal. So they're learning a handful of chords, some basic strum patterns, just the coordination, just getting over those first humps.
What is the oldest age of a class member you've ever had?
This wonderfully awesome lady named Ruth, who was 78 at the time, and she was playing drums. Her daughter was taking classes from us already, and she had wanted to get involved in something musical for health reasons, I think, and so she started playing the drums, and so she actually played a bunch of showcases backing up the bands, and it was just an amazing thing to see. She was with us for several years playing, just total rock and roller.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So you're never too old to rock out, is what you're saying.
I don't think so.
What inspiring things have you seen happen in class?
Oh my God. It's nonstop. People are constantly overcoming their own hurdles. And on a personal level, I think that's really cool to see. Some of my favorite stuff happens in the songwriting classes because just the nature of that is about overcoming fears and often overcoming big life things through writing about it. So that's awesome to see. But every time we put a band on stage and they have fun and they're successful, it's just amazing to watch.
What a neat journey for you. When did this go from being something you did to pay bills to your full-time job?
I think it was about 2009, so about 2 years in. I had been slinging chicken fried steaks down at the Shady Grove, and
Not a bad gig, my friends.
not a bad gig. I don't remember if I did this or not, but I totally picture that I like jammed the Rocky theme and like danced through the parking lot on that last day and got out of there and have been teaching and playing ever since.
Wow.
So,
How does that make you feel when you look back on that?
great. I no more chicken fried steaks, and I'm one of the lucky people who gets to make a living fully from my music. And I feel very fortunate that I've reached that. It's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So then what would you say to someone who is in that space where they're going for it, but it feels insurmountable?
Just don't stop. It's totally worth it. It's not to say that it gets easy. It doesn't get easy, but I find it very rewarding. I talk to people every day who say they wish that they had pursued this